To all those who thought I was done talking about mental health, please listen up because I will not be silent on this topic. This is a topic that needs to be discussed. There are so many going through this, so many dealing with this, and so many that don't know how to come forward and deal with any of these situations. If I can do my little part of having an episode come out weekly, have my own series to hopefully help at least one person out by situations that I've been through from some firsthand experience and other guests I may have in the future that have experiences, then I will definitely continue to do my part. I will not be silent. I will keep speaking on this, for it is important, and it is important to me. Please enjoy today's lesson on mental health, and please check on your people always. Never know what they are going through. Be blessed.
Welcome back to Lawn Dude Unearthed. This isn't just your typical podcast of Lawn Dude Unearthed. This is the first podcast of 2025, man. How can you not be somewhat amped for that joint, man? How can you not? Now, I've made it very clear in my last couple of podcasts how I'm going to be having fun when it comes to everything. I'm going to pretty much go back to the basics on some things in my business. And some things I'm just not going to do because I'm just not having fun. What I have the most fun doing in life is my family time. So, if I can't enjoy what I'm doing, you never do it to its full potential. No matter how good I sit here and say I am when it comes to doing tasks and whatnot, if I don't enjoy it, you're never going to just put in that full effort. So, all this comes off of the heels of, not even off the heels, I'm still in it. Every year, because I am in the doggone service industry, man. I own a lawn and landscape business. Because of this, it gets real slow, really going into December. Like right after Thanksgiving, we still have some leaves to go clean up. But that might be 2 weeks into December, maybe 1 week into December. All depending. Now, I'm not going to go over my sob story of how my fall went. You can hear that in the last podcast. But pretty much because of this, one thing I've always tried to do, no matter what, is to take the same winter break as my kids, the one they get from school every year for Christmas and New Year's. They get about 2 weeks off. So I've been able to do that the last few years, and it's been great. It's been great. It also provides you a lot of time to think. So a lot of people who know me personally know that I really have, a lot of times I kind of toss and turn at night. I don't really sleep. I stay up a lot of times. I stay up late. And I'm just, either if I'm not getting work done, I'm thinking about things constantly. So I've spent this time reflecting. And because of this, I'm going to tell y'all to check on your people, man. You got to check on your people. Because if they're going through a situation like myself where you're sitting around reflecting, sometimes they need that person to just be there and ask how they're doing, how they're feeling, how's their mental. Now, in my case, I have a strong supporting cast. And one thing I've made real clear this whole time is I've been strengthening my life as a man of God. And I would love to lead my family as a man of God. And by doing so, I'm trusting in God. I'm praying more on things and just waiting for His direction. Now, one of those directions is do what I enjoy. And once again, you listen to the last podcast if you don't know what I mean by that, because I said all this in the last podcast. So, I'm going to put myself in positions to where I do what I enjoy. I'm going to put myself in a position where I get this CDL license, which I've been actually trying to pursue a grant or something for CDL school while I'm still in my off season, so that, God forbid, I'm hoping in the future that, just build up enough savings to where there's no problem with being off in the wintertime if I like to. But I also would love to have it to where if I needed to keep an income coming in when the business slows down, I could just go drive a truck. You know what I mean? I at least had that option. And once again, as I've also said in previous podcasts, this is a test if you actually listen to my podcast. But basically, I've made it quite known that I am looking at another business venture in the future that I haven't spoke on, and I'm not going to speak on until I put other things in place. It's another business venture that I have down the road, because as most know, I hate to be the guy to say this because I've always been frustrated when people would say this, in the past. People always go, you can't make money mowing lawns. You can make money mowing lawns, you have the right route density, but it's not as easy. A lot of times, mowing is literally the gateway to another industry or another field. And in my case, I always kind of thought it would just be the main thing. It'll be the main service, but being realistic, I don't think it is for me down the road. Full maintenance packages for these estate lawns and maybe getting these big wide open areas. Cool. It's a gateway maybe to that. But I'm really trying to make it a gateway to probably a lot of these mini skid projects kind of moving forward. That's one thing that I need to be a gateway for. I was trying to make it a gateway for applications only. I mean, for not really applications only, but more of the lawn apps. But even being realistic, that's not even really something I'm looking to keep. Well, not keep, but that's not something I'm looking to have be my be all end all when it comes to service. So there are other industries, other businesses I'm looking to springboard to in the future. And all that starts now. So I am constantly working on my future. I am constantly working on my future. And it's become quite clear to me through this time of reflecting. Certain things I just need to cut out so that I can make sure that I'm just enjoying myself. One thing I don't want to deal with moving forward is PETA clients. They're not even clients. At that point, they're PETAs. They are customers. They're not clients. I don't want customers. I only want clients. Any property I'm not feeling, and I mean that in a good way, I don't feel that property. You feel what I mean? Feel what I'm saying? It's just, I would love to have a peace of mind. I hear this from Cornell Mack. Mack Landscaping and Lawn Care from the Lawn Care Power Moves and On the Attack with Mac. He says all the time he tries not even tries. He implements stress-free lawn care. I'm looking to do that myself. And as long as I'm sitting here like having to keep up with the books, having to keep up with this paper, that paper, or having to like run around like a chicken with my head cut off to get this done and that done, it's not really gonna feel stress free. So I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to ensure that everything is smoother sailing down the road. Uh, One thing I need to really figure out with this business is how to get it to where it doesn't depend on me always. So, with me saying that, any business I'm working on in the future, which I do plan to work on other businesses in the future, I'm going to go ahead off the rip and make sure that it doesn't just fully depend on me. I want something that can be sufficient even if I'm not the one out producing. So basically, all this rambling on right here is just me talking about some of the reflecting that I've done. And trust me, it's a lot more reflecting I've done on just everything to the point where I can't even sit here and just talk about it. It's a lot that I'm still like trying to figure out, and a lot that I will figure out. So I definitely say during this season, it gets colder. There's so many industries that I know of that get slower this time of year. They get slower this time of year. Be sure to check on these people, man. Be sure to check on your folk, because you just never know what they are going through. I say the same thing all the time. I preach this all the time. Check on your people, man. You got to check on your people. You never know what they are going through. And I preach this all the time because you never know. You never know, man. You just never know. You never know when you have that person that's close to you that acts like everything is sunshine and rainbows, but guess what? It ain't sunshine and rainbows. It's rough. It's rough and tough. And that person just doesn't know how to voice it. And you're just waiting for that person to check on them. Waiting for that person to reach out to them. And I suggest you make sure that's you. And if you're the person that needs to be reached out to, one thing I can say is hold on, man. Hold on. Don't give up. And don't worry. I spend plenty of time trying to practice what I preach, because I need to do the same thing. Hold on and don't quit. That is important for all of us. But that's all I have this week. I figure I have a little short message going into this, as we start this new year off. Because it's going to be a great year. It's going to be a blessed year. I'm calling it now. This year is going to be a blessed year. Y'all be blessed. Peace.
Thank you for listening to Lawn Dude on Earth. We talk about all kinds of things here. The good stuff, the tough stuff, and everything in between. If you like the show, please give us a 5-star review. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, and have a blessed day.